actually wanted to do this first. Hi guys, sorry I'm starting off with tweezing my mustache. Welcome back to my channel. I look a hot mess. Honestly, the past couple days have been a struggle. I don't know if I will upload the video explaining what happened, but pretty much on Tuesday night, it's Thursday today, but Tuesday night 2 days ago, my tires were stolen off my car in my parking lot. So long story short, because I probably will upload the video one day if I can get to it. I live in, it's technically Columbus, but it's Dublin area-ish. So it's not really like a bad area. It's just busy because the streets have a lot of shops, and it's a quiet area. So me and my fiance have been here for 2 years, and both of our cars have, his car has been broken into and my tires are stolen. So long story short, I've been dealing with that for the past couple days, and I just haven't been feeling mentally and like just how I've been taking care of myself since I am working from home. It's just been hard. I haven't been able to like just feel beautiful and pretty. My lashes are falling off. Yeah, so my tires is gonna be it's not covered through insurance, so it's gonna be $4 grand to get those added. And I'm getting the locking lugs on there so that way it doesn't happen again, where they can steal my tires, because I'll have the master key. My car is currently at a dealership. That was another headache because the towing company couldn't deliver it in time before they closed, and my car was just in limbo somewhere for a good 12 hours. So, or longer, because they picked it up at like 5 and didn't drop it off at the dealership until like 12 the next day, 12 p.m. So yeah, I just been kind of feeling like I've been going through it, getting beat up by life, but it's good. God is still good. I am still, you know, having complete faith in him. It's just been challenging as far as like knowing what all to do and what I can do, but anyways, I'm done about that. So like I said, don't mind how I look right now. I'm just trying to get myself to be pretty and beautiful. So, and yeah, so I am going to start off with primer. I'm just going to be putting on the Milk primer. My face has been breaking out a lot lately, so I don't want to put like a lot of makeup on, but you know, the longest time I usually just stick with blush and mascara, eyebrows. So it's I'm like rubbing my face too hard. So I feel like I've been getting the past couple days trying to decide what I want to do, where I want to start. Since my lashes are falling off, I might just put mascara on. And I clearly have like lip gloss on just because earlier my lips were so chapped. And I was like, you know what? Normally I just wake up and throw on some blush and bronzer. But I was like, no, I'm just gonna wait till I feel like I'm ready, and I'm gonna do my makeup and record it. So here we are. I honestly don't know where I want to start. I guess I'll start by taking off my scarf. Sorry if I sound like I'm out of breath. I feel like I am because I was just running all over the place trying to get stuff for this. I straightened my hair yesterday. I tried to wear it curly for a couple days, but my face was breaking out real bad. Face was breaking out real bad, and which way does this go? So we need to go this way. Okay. And I just, it was not, it's because my hair is heat damaged, so it was not as curly as I would have liked it to be. But I also like really don't wear it curly, and I don't like to wear it curly just because it does break out my face a lot when I use the products. I already have like, you can't really tell, you can probably see it, but a huge pimple that's, I always got these whenever I had my hair curly because my hair would be like in my face. So when it starts to get warmer out, I'm just gonna have my mom braid my hair back wear it curly during summertime, but for right now, I'm like, you know, I don't have time to be sitting here concerned about getting acne. I'm like burning up, dude. I'm sorry. Okay. Let me try to figure out. Sorry if I keep looking right here. It's because my work laptop's here. I'm working at the same time. I don't necessarily like to put on like heavy bronzer. I want to put on this, but I'm like, I kind of like more of the powder bronzer. But if I just, I don't know. Maybe if I just do a little bit. Is that the same? I think so. And it's so weird because all my bronzer brushes I don't really like anymore. I just feel like they're too big. But this blush brush from e.l.f., I kind of like it for bronzing. I don't really want to go up into my hair as much just because I did just wash it yesterday. And I just rather not try to get my hair wet when I'm washing my face. So I'm just gonna still try to go around my hair and go up into my skin. But gosh, all this cat hair, gross. I'm gonna try to get out of the house today. It's been since Monday since I left. And for me, that's a long time. I'm always a busybody. I'm always moving, always on the go. So this is like a challenge. Being home, stranded, and not able to just leave. Also, I'm just happy the process of this whole like insurance thing is just for the most part over. So pretty much what happened was, after I reported it to the police and to my complex, I called to file a claim with my insurance with State Farm. And it's my fault because I didn't have access to my insurance. It's not that I didn't have access or couldn't have access. I just left it in my dad's hands, and he works for an insurance company. So, you know, he thought it would be the same just with all insurances all around. If the VIN number is not the same, it doesn't matter because we've still been paying the premiums. I should say he's been paying the premiums. So we didn't think anything of it. We thought like, okay, you know, all they got to do is switch the VIN numbers because it was my old lease, and switch it over to the new lease that I have. But State Farm was not happy with that and pretty much said, screw you. You're just because you paid doesn't mean that because the vehicle technically wasn't covered. And like I said, it's my fault for that part because I, you know, could have been more diligent. And I understand from my like customer service aspect, like you can't just like, you know, you can't just make things happen when it's stated in the policy. And I've been on the other end telling people stuff that, you know, is bad news kind of. But anyway, so I called and they were like, well, since you technically didn't have this vehicle insured, your claim's gonna be denied. So my dad called the local agent and she was like, no, because he said I left a voicemail to you guys. And she was like, oh, our system, we switched systems, so yeah, it'll be fine. We'll get you covered. Let me call them and try to get this resolved and handled. So I'm like, okay, sweet, like it's awesome. They're gonna, you know, keep it open and try to get my car covered. And so I was worried about the tow after that point. And mind you, this is still Tuesday. I've been on the phone all day with the insurance, and so I'm just trying to make sure. I'm not the best at storytelling, by the way. I suck at storytelling. Like, I will go just to get to here. So yeah, I am not the best. So if you're getting frustrated listening to this, please bear with me. I promise you that I'm just trying. Still kind of tired and deprived of sleep. So thank you for staying with me. But anyway, so yeah, so she's like, yeah, we're gonna figure it out and resolved for you. So I'm like, oh sweet, like, okay, you know, whoop-de-whoop. And then they're like, I was like, well, where's my tow? And they're like, oh, it's still en route. And that was around like 12. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see a tow coming, because mind you, I wanted to kind of leave and get out and kind of clear my head and go for a walk, but I couldn't do that because I had to make sure that the tow guy got the keys and was able to pick up the vehicle, because there was another vehicle. They also got their tire stolen that was just like mine. Black rims, black wheels. And she was just saying, like, she's had multiple tow companies come out and they would not take her vehicle. So she was dealing with that, and I was just dealing with nobody showing up. So eventually I called back, and then they're like, okay, well, he's en route. The guy calls me, says the guy's there. They're picking up the girl's vehicle. I'm like, no, that's my vehicle. My vehicle's over here. That's hers. And she's like, yeah, like, that's when she told me everything. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And the guy takes my vehicle, and then it's like 5 o'clock at this point. So by the time they take my vehicle and start trying to drive it to the shop's closed. So they're like, we're gonna have to keep it overnight, but, or they're like, we can't drop it off until we get payment. So I called my insurance. Or they're like, the tow company came out, and I was like, yeah, they're saying that they can't drop off my vehicle until there's payment. And she's like, well, it says that you're, they don't know about coverage on this note here. And I was like, well, they already picked up the vehicle, so at this point, I just want the vehicle to be dropped off. And there was something, the insurance agent was like, oh, your policy was the wrong number. So I was like, well, here's the policy number. That was apparently the correct policy number. And she's like, okay, so she went ahead and approved the tow company to drop off the vehicle, but at that point the shop was closed, so they had to leave it in their storage, which I don't know where that was, and keep it there overnight. So I was like, okay. I was a little worried. The lady was really sweet though, because we did talk about God, and she just prayed over me and just had a really good conversation about Jesus and stuff. So, and she's a minister, so I was really grateful for, you know, those 2 hours I was on the phone. But she was like, you know, if this claim denies, then you'll be responsible. And I was just like, oh gosh, like, okay, like, that's worrisome. I didn't expect to, you know, I was like, this is my first time really dealing with car insurance and car companies, so I really had no clue what to really expect, because I'm like, okay, well, I don't know how this business works, you know. So I was stressed out because the guy said the amount from the company that hired the tow said that the amount was going to be $1,200 for the tow. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, if they try to bill me this, I'm like screwed, because what the heck. I was just like, you know, oh my gosh. But the lady's like, well, we'll be fine, just call your local agent, have them send over the proof of coverage. And I was like, okay. So I tried to call, they didn't answer the next day. Mind you, this was yesterday, Wednesday, by this time. Because I still don't know where my vehicle is. I'm so sorry, the story is like all over the place. I'm like still trying to like process everything and also explain everything and doing makeup, and it's just hard doing everything all at once. But anyway, so I still don't know where my vehicle is, and I'm calling, couldn't get a hold of the lady, and then my dad calls and said, okay, well, I just talked to her, she said she's gonna call and figure it out. And then 10 minutes later she calls me and yelling at me like, well, you said you didn't know you're supposed to switch the policy over. And I'm like, what? So I didn't even tell her. I just put her on hold and called my dad because I'm like, dude, what the heck? And I conferenced him in the call on three-way. And she's over there like, well, since you guys, you can't leave, or she's like, you can't leave a voicemail to state that you have coverage. Like, you have to speak to someone. And I'm like, well, why would you, like, clearly he told you that. Like, why would you say, okay, we'll get it figured out, and say, like, you're going to be okay if you're just going to, like, go back on your word and drag me along? I was like, this has already been stressful as it is, like, trying to, you know, figure out what's going on and getting my car towed, and then knowing where my car is. The car wasn't dropped off until 12 because they didn't get payment, and it was just a lot. I was like, this is not, you know, it was worse. It was a more stressful process than actually finding out my tires were stolen. And I was just like, this is not, like, cool. Like, what the heck? So I kind of, like, got in my feelings and went off on her. And I was trying to be calm and, you know, be like a saint, but it's hard when you're, like, stressed out about that. And my dad was like, you gotta calm down. I'm like, dude, I'm trying, but it's just not nice for people to, like, take that hard work away, because I do have to pay, you know, I have to work hard. I might not seem like I'm working hard now. I am, trust me. I'm trying to get my spirit up, and I've been praying, and, you know, I just feel like if I just dress nice and dress myself up, I'm, like, sweating so bad right now because I'm, like, trying to find all my words, and I'm also, like, I think the heat is turned up a little too high right now. But anyway, so yeah, so I'm just sitting here like, I feel bad and I feel embarrassed for getting upset. And then of course we have a meeting at work, and everybody's asking me, like, because I told my manager what happened, and I told my close friend at work what happened, and I think either way, people found out that's in my department. So they raised money, which I stated in the video, the other video, if I ever post it, I don't know, but that they raised money for me, $160, which was such a blessing, because I'm like, what in the world, like, you guys didn't have to do that. And, you know, it just helps. Every little thing helps right now. So I was just like, wow. So they are wondering, you know, what's going on, and I was just like, yeah, I've just been stressed out. And then of course I start crying because it's right after everything was going on, and I'm so sorry. Like, my brain is so, like, mush because I have had little to no sleep, staying up trying to make sure that, you know, they don't come back and try to steal anybody. After I got done crying to my coworkers, I felt more embarrassed and just felt like I shouldn't be upset, and I should be, you know, grateful and happy, and it's not that big of a deal. But at the same time, it's like, I don't, you know, this is not an everyday experience for me, so it's stressful going through it, and your insurance that you've been paying a premium to won't cover anything just because it was not the right VIN. So I was frustrated with them because it's like, okay, well then give us the money back that my dad's been paying, and cancel my policy, because you guys are just giving me the runaround saying, yeah, we'll look into this. It's denied. No, we're gonna look into this and try to figure this out for you. It's denied. Like, okay, what are you guys gonna do? Because I mean, like, my dad, like I said, works for the insurance. He's like, once they pick up the vehicle, that means they started the claim process, so that means it's good. So I was thinking, like, okay, I'm in the clear, I'm good, you know, it's all fine. And of course they're like, no, it's denied. So I was just like, oh my gosh. But anyways, long story short, if I can finally get to the part, because this camera's about to cut off, my claim got denied officially, and I called the dealership to see how much it'd be, and they said $4,000. So I was like, okay, but that's including everything. I mean, if I didn't get the lock lugs to protect my tires from getting stolen, it would have just been $3,600. But since I am getting those, it's $4 grand because I think they're $130 each for those bad boys. And I was just like, okay, well, I've definitely learned my lesson. You know, you definitely, if you have insurance and paying a premium and your vehicle is not the right vehicle in there, it doesn't matter because they don't care. Yeah, so I definitely had a hard way of, you know, being responsible and checking everything. I do not blame anyone, so I take full responsibility for that. I just don't like the process of how State Farm handled it and went about it, and then sat there and yelled at me. Like, I was like, dude, this is unprofessional. You guys, they were giving me the runaround, and people just were, they weren't having communication between each other, and they were just being unprofessional, I think, in my opinion, regardless that it's my fault that I didn't switch the cars. But now they're trying to be stingy with the premiums, and I'm just like, dude, no, you definitely giving me that back, or giving my dad that back. I just keep saying me like I've been paying it. So I switched to Allstate. I was like, yeah, no more State Farm, because you guys suck. Personal opinion, you might like State Farm, that's good for you, but I just, you know, don't really like being told multiple different things by different people and kind of led to believe like things that weren't going to be true. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. I was just stressed out. I'm still kind of stressed just because my dad is going to pay for my tires to get fixed, but I'm going to pay him back. And I really just want to move, because now it's like once I get my car back, I'm going to be worried constantly that they're going to be back to steal them again. But it's already, you know, hard enough paying for all the stuff, and just for someone to, you know, get greedy one night and take from you, it just sucks. But I prayed for them. I asked God to just help me forgive, and you know, I have faith that justice will be served with that in due time. But I just didn't want to give them too much power and too much of my mind and focus. But it's hard at nighttime because I'm just worried that they're going to be back. But yeah, so that's pretty much what's been going on the past couple days. I've just been kind of up and down in my feelings and emotions, because I do feel very like grateful that, you know, that was all that they took. They didn't take the whole car. I mean, thank God they didn't take the whole car, because oh my gosh, if they would have took the whole car, and State Farm would have been like, sorry, out of luck. That would have just sucked even more. But it's just annoying, because when you pay for a policy that has a rental, that has towing, on roadside assistance, I should say, and they try to say, oh, none of that's going to be covered because you had a different VIN number. Like, I get the tires is one thing, but the roadside assistance and the rental that my dad pays for, I mean, that still has been getting monthly payments for the past, you know, 3 months or however long. And I just feel like with that, it made no sense for them to be like, oh, you're not going to be covered for that, actually. Sorry. Just like, I mean, that makes no sense to me. Like, why wouldn't I be covered for a rental when it's paid for in the premium? But anyway, so I don't have to deal with them. I only have to deal with them for another month, of course, because my policy with Allstate doesn't start until next month, and I'm going to be paying that, which is going to be, you know, $200 extra a month coming out of my pocket, which is fine. I'd rather it be $200 than have to deal with another $4 of tires being stolen and then State Farm giving me the rest. Adulting sucks. People suck. But, you know, Jesus is good. Jesus has been good to me this whole time. Even though I have been having times where I just been feeling like really down and numb. It's usually when I get like, that's what I'm saying, like with the whole like up and down, like they were telling me one thing and saying another thing, and then so it's just like it just played with my emotions way too much. And I was just like, just deny it. If you're gonna deny it, just deny it. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I am currently just waiting till my car gets done. My dad's gonna pay it, and then I'm gonna pay him back for everything, because it's not his responsibility to have to deal with this, because I am just, you know, not the brightest in the bunch when it comes to stuff like that, when it comes to cars, when it comes to anything. Oh my gosh, I opened it way too soon. So sorry if this was, you know, a drag. Trying to finally hear what I was trying to say. Where are the stories? I learned my lesson. Hey, so this is the two-piece set that I just threw on. It's just these pants, since it's cold outside. Ow, I'm not going outside, but something that's kind of dressier. Oh, trying to make myself just feel put together and prepared to battle this day. I hate the way I talk sometimes. But yeah, so sorry I wasn't looking into the lens. I was trying to look up here so that way I can make sure I was just doing my makeup correctly. But sorry also with this. I'm done apologizing, but after this apology, I'm sorry if it took me forever to get to the point. My brain is mush right now. I'm still trying to process everything, and also am running on very, very little sleep. So thank you for watching this if you stayed tuned to the end. Thank you for supporting my channel, supporting me. I love you guys. God bless, and just remember, no matter how hard things get, no matter how hard you feel like you have fallen and feel like you're in the dumps, just remember Jesus is there with you, going through everything with you, and is there for you to lean on him. So I'm still trying to take my own advice with that and just trust in him and have complete faith. Definitely send some prayers my way, and I would definitely send some your way. If you have any prayer requests, leave it in the comments down below. Any recommendations that you want to see for an upcoming video, just let me know. If you want to comment. If not, just give it a thumbs up. You don't have to subscribe, but I appreciate your support either way. Thank you, and have a great day. God bless. Bye.